This is Bumper to Bumper Radio, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. Bumper to Bumper, helping you and your car feel better. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio, here along with Matt Allen, and we are here to help you with your car every Saturday from 11 to noon, right here on News Talk 92.3 KTAR. We're creating realistic expectations when it comes to auto repair. So if you've got car questions, we encourage you to give us a call at 602-277-5827. 602-277-KTAR. Today on the Bumper to Bumper Roadmap, triple-digit temperatures are just around the corner. They may even be happening today. Is your car ready for it? We're going to do open phones as always. We've got a new Bumper to Bumper shop that joined the network. And airbags. Are you used to that little pesky light facing you that says airbag? Is that a problem? Is the thing going to blow up in your face? What do we do with that airbag light?
Well, we don't ignore it. That's one thing, Dave. You don't want it to ignore it. It's certainly not going to make you break down, but I think there's a lot of misconceptions about airbags and the history of airbags that people don't even really know. And I was quite surprised today in this week doing a little bit more of our research. 1950s was the first patent for an airbag. Some guy. I don't remember what
There's
his
no
name
way
was.
they could have had airbags in the 50s.
Well, maybe they got the patent. They were certainly thinking about it.
Right. Well, the early ones were operated off of compressed air. That was the early version.
So I don't know whether they have this big giant welding tank in the car that was probably its own danger of compressed air to blow up this airbag, but they certainly were too slow and probably very rudimentary.
Well, I think the first production one to come out was a 1971 Oldsmobile Tornado had an airbag in it.
Well, and I didn't even realize it was an option. They weren't uncommon in the 70s in cars. Or maybe they were uncommon, but it wouldn't be uncommon to find one. It was probably an option that a lot of people didn't want to pay for. Probably some of them leaked out of the proving grounds.
Well, they've come a long ways, and 1973 Impala had airbags.
Yeah.
Some other Oldsmobile models had airbags. I didn't know they went back that far. I thought it was like a mid-'80s thing, you know.
That's kind of what I thought, too. But, I used to work at a Chevron station that's no longer at Miller and Indian School. And I have a recollection of an accident there in the intersection. This would have been the early 90s. And there's this collision. It's an older car. We're going, what is all that stuff inside the car? What is this, like, smoke? And it was a late 70s car or mid-70s, and it had an airbag in it. Everybody was shocked to see that. But then it wasn't until 1998 that they're mandatory dual airbags.
1998 was passenger car, and 99 was trucks.
I think, or 97, followed by a year, yeah. And then now it's not just dual airbags. I mean, you've got curtain airbags, you've got door airbags, you've got airbags in your seats, you've got
airbags in the seatbelt. What's that all about?
Well, it's the pretension in the airbag. Oh, there is an airbag in the seatbelt. You're right. It blows up the little deal. I thought you were talking about the pretensioner. My Toyota truck, I have a 2010 Toyota truck. There's an airbag down by your knees to protect your knees. So I bet your higher end models, your BMWs, your Lexus, probably have. I think they could have 10 or 12 airbags. I'm not sure of the count.
Well, so you are driving in your car and that airbag light is on. Are you thinking the worst? This is going to be a big deal. I'm going to have to go get my airbags fixed. What are some of the common things, Matt? Those airbag systems are they're very involved. So there's an airbag control module that is testing the system. I read on GM's it's testing as much as 10 times per second. It's pinging all the little members out there, whether that be the deceleration sensor in the bumper or the impact sensor in the bumper, whether that be the occupant sensor in the seat, a seatbelt, is your seatbelt on, all those things are being tested.
Well, yeah, but part of the evolution, first you had your basic airbags. We're talking modern era, and they describe modern era as 80s. So you had this airbag that kaboom, that thing just blasted no matter what. And then you got a passenger airbag, and kaboom, that thing blasted no matter what. And now there's different generations. They're slowing them down with the technology. They don't deploy as hard. So if you've got a 400-pound person sitting in the front seat, that's going to deploy differently through using a occupant sensor or a scale on the seat. Then it's going to deploy probably much harder than it would be if there's an 80-pound person sitting in that seat. Or probably where the insurance companies got really involved.
It's expensive when those things go off.
It's not going to blow at all if nobody's sitting in the seat. No sense in blowing off the passenger side airbag if you're the only one in the car.
Well, I know, so I put my laptop on the passenger seat of my Honda Element. The light on the dashboard says airbag, passenger airbag off.
It probably says it even with your computer not on there. But I bet if you put a 50-pound backpack in there.
It feels more like a kid.
Yeah, or something heavy.
Well, I remember in the early days, like the 1998 Dodge truck had a little key right there. You would turn off the passenger airbag because there was a lot of liability to it. If you put a kid in that seat, it was totally dangerous. And so all that's gone away because now it's a smart airbag system. So back to my question, the light is on. What am I going to do?
Well, the one thing to think is the majority of the time there's absolutely nothing wrong with the airbag. It's the airbag system. There's some common failures. And a lot of people are like, oh, my God, this airbag light's on. That's going to be expensive. No, really, it's probably not. Not more expensive than your face being blasted with glass from the windshield because it didn't work. But
well, when the airbag light is on, chances are it's just disabled the system, at least some component of the system. So depending on which part of the system is not right is probably going to be the component that's disabled. So if it's something maybe in relation to the passenger seat, maybe that component is not working.
Yeah, or the passenger seat bag might work. But the question, so one common thing we see on Hondas, the seatbelt switch, that's part of the airbag system. It needs to know you have your seatbelt on. If your seatbelt's not on, it's going to deploy the airbag differently than it would if your seatbelt is on. If it's not recognizing that circuit at least is capable of working, well, in most cases, Honda, that's a lifetime warranty on the seatbelt system. That cures your airbag problem for nothing.
Right. Now, Honda does lifetime warranty on their seatbelt, but no one does a lifetime warranty on airbags.
No lifetime warranty on the airbag, but the seatbelt system can affect the airbag. BMWs use a sensor in the seat, basically a scale.
Gyro sensor or
just an occupant sensor. There's a switch. You put your butt in the seat, it turns the switch on. Well, if it's not recognizing the ability of that switch to work, it's going to turn on the airbag light. You're not replacing a $2,000 airbag. You're just replacing an occupant sensor that, it's a couple $100. $100 to figure it out, $100 for the part, maybe $100 to do it. I don't know. Just it's not that bad.
It is a huge safety feature, and the National Highway Safety Administration has got 30 years worth of data now on airbags. And when they originally came out, people were like, I don't know about that thing going off in my face. Well, the data proves that it is definitely a good thing. That's why it's mandatory. So if you got the light on, you want to have it checked out. You don't want to ignore it. You got a safety feature that is missing, and the cars are designed to have an airbag in them. So it's a major component that's not happening.
Well, and the other thing too is not only is the light on, that's a problem. If you don't have a light, we talk about the check engine light, the ABS light, some of the lights. The system is going to do a self-test every time you turn the key on. The airbag light, which may say airbag or SRS, supplemental restraint system. When you turn the key on, that light's going to come on for about a second and a half while it does a self-test, and then it should go off. If you don't see that light on, problem.
Well, that's a huge deal when you're looking to buy a car. We always say do the bulb check. Turn the key forward, and all the lights on the dashboard should come on. You should see an airbag light. You should see a brake light. You should see a check engine light. If you don't see an airbag light, that's one of the scams that really goes out there is when a car is wrecked, maybe it's not totaled out by the insurance company per se, and it's got a good title. Well, maybe somebody tries to repair that and get it back on the road.
Well, and we've talked.
They just leave the airbag out altogether. The safety feature is gone. So you got to see that light come on.
Well, and we've talked in shows past with the Attorney General prosecuting people for selling these counterfeit airbags, but just as well, I've seen airbags, like the steering wheel portion of the airbag, where it just doesn't say SRS on it anymore or airbag, and it's just a replacement horn button is all it is. And they turn the airbag light off, but it's hard. It's not made to feel, or it's not misrepresented necessarily as an airbag, but it's just something as a placeholder so it looks normal.